With any presidential election, regardless of outcome, whether you end up with a second-term Trump administration or the transition to a Biden administration, there's a huge turnover in people. And human nature is often that when new folks show up, they get very excited about their new agenda, and they may throw the old agenda off the bus. And so regardless of outcome of the election, there are some key things in government where energy and enthusiasm and progress must continue. And so each presidential election, ACT-IAC gets together a group of experts, people who have survived in government and industry and done transitions before, to think through what are going to be the most important issues for the next administration or a second-term administration. And the beauty of it is it's not just for the candidate and it's not just for the transition team, but it's also important messages around topics that will matter to the career executives, to the industry participants in government, to members of Congress and their staff. So there's sort of a broad aperture of how this applies to folks.
It's been a bipartisan or nonpartisan issue. And that's important because most of the changes we're talking about require some long-term effort and change in government. What we tried to do is similar to what the agenda was in the first Trump administration, which was to focus on the citizen and customer service and view technology as an enabler and a force multiplier to achieve that.
The prize is how you can use technology to enhance a mission. Otherwise, you fall into the trap of technology for technology's sake and shiny objects. So this focus on outcomes is really, really important. And outcomes are particularly mission-focused for the organization. Delivering services, transforming our infrastructure, managing risk, adapting to change. These are big themes that just deserve our time and attention. And then there are a number of functional topics that the report covers: cybersecurity, the imperative around data, how intelligent automation and AI are just going to fundamentally change every mission and every aspect of jobs of people in government and in industry, power of workforce and partnerships. The pace of change is relentless. The everyday new technologies change the way we live, work, and play. And then you pile on top of that dealing with a pandemic and the shifts that has caused for both government and industry to move to this virtual world and what that new normal will look like post-pandemic.
The focus here is on improving government's delivery of service to its customers, whether it be citizens or industry or state and local governments or whatever the case may be.
As we mentioned before, if you watched what happened in the pandemic world, everyone had to start work from home. Everyone had to be virtual. Everyone had to be connected all the time. And so the sort of models for cybersecurity have to change. And so cybersecurity, clearly a national imperative, but the old practices around locking down enclaves and boundaries, right, and have to be replaced by these concepts around better identity management and zero trust networks and how do we manage risks rather than avoid them.